This is King Noble Black Supremacy. With this particular video, I want to talk about how the LGBTQ curriculum can be very enlightening for your children in the school system. And you as well, for you as well, but very enlightening for your school children. Because what they're teaching is very spiritual. They're taking you beyond the physical body, acknowledging yourself as a spirit, and they're also taking you beyond the perceptual construct that has been created for your physical body, whether you are a man or woman, boy or girl, based on how that body is being perceived, the paradigm that we live in today, that tells us how to view someone or how to interact with someone based on how they appear. Somebody has solidified a paradigm on that, and we call that paradigm gender orientation. Means society orientates you based on how you appear, irregardless of your spirit or how you are within your inner self. Now, I gotta preface this. I'm not saying this because I support any type of a homosexual agenda. Because I don't support anyone who wants to say, hey, let's make people gay. Let's put this thing together and make a whole bunch of people gay. Make more people gay. I don't agree with that at all. Just like I don't agree with a heterosexual agenda. Somebody putting something together saying, hey, we're going to make a whole bunch of people straight. Let's get all these people and trick them into being straight and force them to being straight. Fear them into being straight. I don't support that either, because I think if you are supposed to be straight, if it's natural to be heterosexual, I think you're going to be that anyway. If it's natural, no one has to make you do anything or force you or trick you into being it, because that's the way you feel. That's naturally, I think, unobstructed and unmanipulated. You're going to come out straight in the end, if it's truly natural. Or otherwise, then we have to argue, how natural is it? If you have to be institutionalized into being straight, then is it really natural? But that's a whole nother conversation. But I don't support either agenda. And I'm not saying I support every LGBTQ person and what their agenda is or on a personal level. I'm just talking about the LGBTQ curriculum that's being taught in the education system in California. It is very profound and very insightful. For one, they teach identity and gender fluidity. Now, identity fluidity is just deep in and of itself, because it's saying that you are a relative. Who you are is relative. Who you are is not stagnant. That's basically telling you don't have to fit in any box. That you can flow between different boxes, and you can flow in and out of different definitions and different constructs. You have room to breathe. You don't have to find the nearest box and jump in it. Gay or straight. And in other areas of your life that can be applied. You don't have to jump into a box. This corporate machine, capitalism, the way society functions now, it forces people into boxes in order to exist. Before you were born, they already had a box for you. And your life is trying to understand what you're supposed to do in that box. If you're black, if you're white, if you're gay, if you're straight, whatever you are trying to master that box they put you in and understand. And some people go through their whole life and don't even realize what box they were being expected to fulfill the requirements of. This whole identity fluidity is a very liberating concept. Meaning that not only that you're a spiritual being, they're basically telling that you're a spirit, which actually taking you beyond being human. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. And not only are you not your body, because the body places limitations on your spirit, because you could be a spiritual entity that's born with a body that does not complement how your spiritual self wants to express itself. And you got to realize that your physical existence is a parenthesis in eternity. That you are an infinitely spiritual being. That your spirit is so much greater, so much more expansive, and so much more timeless than your physical self. Period. But not only are you not your body, that you can transform yourself, or you can seek to create or seek to make your body more complementary to your spirit. You also can go beyond the perceptions of these social frameworks that tell you how you must operate based on the body that you're in. So meaning that once you work through your own problems with being born into a body that does not completely express your infinite spiritual self that you've yet to become aware of, once you escape that problem, then you also have the courage and the support to go against or to to be on a quest for freedom or self-expression, to not be limited by social constructs or society's dictation, or try to fit in to society and allow your obligation to the realization of your own spiritual selfhood to be more significant than your desire to fit into society or be limited by society's constructs. That it's okay to come into the knowledge of who you are. It's okay to explore your spiritual selfhood. And if you find a definition that fits you, then have the courage to live that one. And if you don't, then there's room for identity fluidity, meaning the pressure of you to define yourself or to fit in this or that box or to even originate a box is unnecessary. That there's a space where your spiritual process and non-limited and non-confined expression could be appreciated, considered, reverenced, respected, and allowed. And to me, that's what identity and gender fluidity is. Where to point now, they're saying you could be non-binary, meaning you're unbounded by any. You don't have to be any of them, and you can be appreciated. That's deep. That's basically saying that you are a spiritual being. That's a deep curriculum. Who could have a problem with that? That's not teaching no LGBTQ be gay or be bisexual. It's not teaching you that. It's putting you on a true path of self-discovery. And not only is it teaching you about how unlimited you are as a being and how unlimited that it's okay to be, it's also making you considerate for other people and not limiting them to the confines of the constructs that has been created by this society, making you more of a reverent, tolerant being. And I think if more people would like that, we would have less violence, less murder, and we would live in a better society as a whole. Our ignorances are justified by the constructs, because the constructs is all that we know, and anything outside of that, we feel justified in our ignorance. And our ignorance is our inability to expand our consciousness to perceive a bigger picture than our own vantage point. That's deep. They giving up the him and her and dealing with they and them, which is deep, because why are you not given the right to be perceived the way that you feel comfortable with based on your spirit? You don't evolve and they're going to evolve into the spirit. They're just going to be calling children spirits. That's going to be deep. So I think that the LGBTQ curriculum is a spiritual evolution of humanity inside of that curriculum. And I think if there's anything that you can learn, I think the deepest thing that you can learn in the public school system right now is in that curriculum. That's all they have to offer to me. That's the deepest thing you can learn. Well, a lot of our black leaders are saying, well, hell, the white man is teaching us this. The white man taught you everything that you already know, man. You learned that. They have constructed the school system that you learn from. They taught you the bullshit and lies that you already know. So you can't use that as an excuse not to learn when they start enlightening you or coming up with something that is enlightening. But the truth is, you can't expect your enemy to teach your children what they're supposed to know. You're supposed to teach them yourself. That's why I'm in favor of homeschooling. It's no way you can be mad at your enemy for not teaching your children how to conquer and rise up and become powerful. You can't be mad about that. So no way. That's your job, to teach your children at home. But if you so happen to send them to the school system, the most enlightened thing they can learn right now is within that LGBTQ curriculum. Because it's taking them beyond the mundane physical reality. Because we can't have a new world until we can conceptualize a new reality. So we got to step out of this materialization and realize our unmaterialized self, which gives us space to materialize something else. This is King Noble Black Supremacy. Join my website, www.kingnobleuncensored.com. Donate and don't hate.